Because cloud is the biggest thing out there. Everybody wants to take their data, move it to the cloud, do something with it really exciting. So Tarik, since Snowflake is the cloud sort of partner that we have that is the most important part, tell us a little bit about why people want to move to the cloud and what's the benefit of doing so?
Yeah, definitely, Teresa. I think we're all very well aware that unlocking and tapping into data is how we're going to transform and modernize our businesses. And those that have done a great job and have used data wisely are gaining competitive advantages already, and in return, generating more revenues. So leveraging the cloud is critical for all of these data and AI initiatives. And if you look at a Gartner study, I think it showed that 85% of businesses are going to adopt a cloud-first strategy in the next 4 years. And so why is that? I think if you look at the key elements of the cloud, first, you've got this concept of almost near unlimited scalability. So you can, at the click of a button, you can increase and decrease resources on the fly, right? Those, whether they're computer storage resources, you can scale out, you can scale them back in, you can even suspend them in certain cases. And so no longer are you required to have that upfront capital spend on infrastructure to support all of the different applications. You don't have to also design or over or under provision. And so this gives you this interesting capability, especially with the vast amounts of data that we're dealing with. And you need the vast amounts of data, you need to capture more data sources in order to actually have an effective and successful AI strategy. How do you get your arms all around this? So it's critical to have this kind of scalability. And that scalability also lends itself to making you more agile as an organization. You're no longer having to wait, provision equipment, and then having to go and purchase more if you run out of capacity in certain areas. Now, again, you can leverage this elasticity of the cloud. So you're not limiting your data scientists and your engineers and your analysts and your developers. So you're starting to be able to go really fast as an organization, be agile and respond to the different demands of the business. With that scalability, you also get this economic advantage too, right? I think, again, I mentioned the elasticity of the cloud. You're paying for what you're using. And so now you can align directly with the business. Again, not over provisioning, not designing for the peaks and then having all this unused capacity throughout the rest of the year, right? There's obviously economic advantages with switching to operational expenditures versus CapEx. But because you're dealing with this vast amount of data now, different kinds of data, the rate at which that data is created is ridiculous. So how do you make sure that you can capture all this and not have to make trade-offs? Well, that scalability allows you these economics. The third part is the ability to make data accessible and mobilize data, so you can have this massive collaboration, right? Again, we're dealing with a lot of data. We're dealing with many different business groups that are spread all over. Now everyone's remote. The cloud opens up these opportunities to easily access that data across the organization. So now data scientists and engineers and business users can all share that data. They can easily view, process across the cloud, which means across the organization, and they can provide inputs, real-time updates from anywhere, anytime. There's also some reliability and business continuity advantages too that you don't have to take care of as a business, right? Let the technology, the cloud vendor, the cloud technology provider handle that. And this critical need to adopt a cloud-first strategy has never been more evident than during this COVID epidemic. I think companies more than ever now realize that they have to digitize their business. They've got to provide that real-time collaboration that I just spoke about for this remote workforce, and they've got to optimize their spend, especially their capital spend. The cloud allows them to achieve all of this and be better prepared for the future.
That's fantastic.